So welcome back to the Let's Play Storm of Zehir. Last time we stopped by Crossroad Keep again to try and pick up some extra money so that we can go and start building our empire of trade, which is technically sort of optional, but very helpful. So I'm going to head back over to Phandalin over here and set up a trading post and set up the one caravan I can, which is to the back to Crossroad Keep. Now there are more outposts we could set up, but we really don't have the money to construct caravans. So we're going to go on a little side mission to pick up some cash, and also unlock another merchant who will actually pay decent prices for things. So we're going to the south end of the swamp here. So starting near the crypt where we started, just to the northwest is this little cave, which I'll clean out, and there's not really all that much here. So there's an ogre barbarian we just splattered, and there are a couple hags in here. They're not interesting enemies. The only reason to come in here really is there's one nice item to be found in a chest in the back here. So here are our hags. So this box, which is trapped, has the recipe for Coloco Charisma +6. We don't actually have anybody who can craft wondrous items yet, so it's not super important, but I figured I'd get it since we're here. Heading north again, we run into everybody's favorite hellhole of a town, which is West Harbor. So you have to get past the guard, which just requires you to say pretty much anything. And she tells you to talk to the mayor, so we'll do that. And Laszlo Buckman is now the mayor, and he wants you to go deal with some dragons and rescue a wizard. The wizard Tarmus is you've probably met if you've played the original campaign. He's also in this game one of the better merchants because he pays a relatively high cap on items, and he also has a lot of money. So we're mostly going off to slay the dragons just so we can get a better merchant to sell our stuff to. Kind of a stupid reason, but hey, there's worth. You can't actually find these dragon caves by yourself. You have to go in and talk to the mayor to find them. So here we are in our dragon cave. There's actually no dragons here, but hey, there's a bunch of townspeople, and here's the wizard we were going to save. Well, we don't actually have a lot much to sell to him, so let's keep looking. And supposedly the dragons aren't home, so what better time to loot this stuff? There are a fair number of traps in this cave. There are also a fair number of enemies, but no dragons, as I mentioned. So I'm going to buff up a little and then proceed on past a really, really obvious secret door, and we'll just pretend we didn't see it or something. But up to looking at the map of this area, there's this barracks area here, there's a shrine here, and there's something down here, which is eventually where we're trying to get to. So I'm going to clear out this sort of barracks area first. And there's one of our traps, so charge in. And our mage is getting kind of pounded on, so I'm going to have him fall back a little bit and force them to pick on somebody else. So I'll heal up and clean up and be right back. And we find over on the rack a shortbow fen tamer, which is pretty pointless. It has an enhancement bonus versus vermin, which is actually useful for here, but I'm not going to bother with it. So I'm going to actually use this point as sort of my defended point while my mage goes off and deals with the traps so that I don't accidentally set them off. And we're very close to a level, and since we don't get much XP for killing monsters, we do get XP for disarming traps. However, we seem to have attracted some attention, so I'm going to deal with that. So we disarm the trap and gain a level. So I'm going to gain a level off screen and be right back. So we're back, and I'm going back to disarming traps. Unfortunately, I don't have my level 4 spells, which would have really helped. Well, we just got poisoned. So I'm going to clean that up, be right back. Moving down the hallway, we find this statue of Tyr, which seems sort of out of place, but hey, you know, let's try breaking it. And we get smited for our impudence. You can also mess with it and get attacked by imps, which is just as pointless, but hey. And here are some more traps. And there's a locked door here. I can't remember if it has a trap or not. I actually specifically want to find traps and not avoid them because they're worth good XP. So I got 110 XP for that, and that's more XP than I've gotten for every monster I've killed so far in this area. Though here's an interesting one. It's an Umber Hulk. Like all Umber Hulks, of course, it can confuse you, so not much of a fight. Though my tank is confused, so I'm going to just have everybody else just, keep their distance until that wears off. It doesn't last very long. So in this room, there's an arcane chest and also a magic jar. The magic jar is locked, even though it doesn't say that, the cursor doesn't change. So I'm going to use my chime of opening to open it up. And we summon up a bunch of fire and ice methods. And they're not very hard. They do elemental damage, though, so if you have protection from energy or something like that, and you want to cast that, that's great. Otherwise, just kill them. You'll notice I'm not really using a lot of my more important buffs because there are a lot of, well, not a lot, but there is at least one significantly harder fight and another fight that's at least somewhat difficult. So I'll save all the big guns for those. Now, looking in our little set of drops here, especially our magic jar, we find Mephit Guano, which is, it casts Stinking Cloud and gives a charisma penalty. So it's really useless, except for the fact that it's an item that exists in your inventory and gives a bonus, which means we can enchant it for an AC bonus. And we'll hang on to it because we don't really care what the tank's charisma is. She's a druid. I cleaned up and we're moving on here. Through the door to the far side over there is the area on the other side of the secret passage. And we're not going to go through there just yet. I'm going to go forward and pick up one more trap before doing anything else. So have everybody hold. And where is this trap? And when we come back next time, we're going to finish off the rest of this cave.